Okay, so now we move on to another aid to trade, which is simply banking. So you are storing your money or any other valuables in financial institutions such as the bank for safety. This is also important. Why? Because it helps to finance the traders by means of loans and overdraft. Even if you're trying to start up a business, to say those loans are important to just boost up your business. Apart from that, banking also helps to safeguard the trader's money and other valuables, right? If you have gold today in your house, you're not going to put it under the pillow, knowing the kind of environment where you stay. Maybe you may find your gold is has gone missing in the morning, so you have to take it to the bank for safety. Apart from that, banking also helps to facilitate the payment of huge sums through checks, right? If you have 100,000 today that you want to withdraw, you're not going to go to a mobile money booth. Preferably, you'll go to a large banking institution for you to just have a smooth process, right? Apart from that, banking services also offers special facilities to traders such as standing orders, direct debits, credit transfers, as well as discounting bills of exchange and etc. So as we look to the other topics in commerce, we'll find out what all these things are, such as the standing order, what are direct debits, what are credit transfers, and what are these discounting bills. Moving on to another edge to trade, we have insurance, right? So we know to say insurance helps to compensate or to restore or to indemnify traders in case of any risks that occurs. Apart from that, insurance also protects traders against financial losses resulting from either fire, theft, or any other elements. Moving on to another one, insurance also helps against claims from third parties, and insurance also helps in terms of life assurance, providing you with a saving plan to those who are surviving dependents. And then insurance also provides confidence or encouragement to traders to go into huge businesses without fear of making a loss, right? Since there are these insurance companies that some of them will provide you with that assurance to say, oh, okay, if you, in case you incur a loss, these are the measures that we are going to put in place in order to boost your business. Once you enter in a contract with them, it means they are going to help you and you're not going to face a huge loss. Another edge to trade is communication, which simply helps to inform the public on the availability of goods and services on the market. This one is almost similar to advertising. Communication also allows customers and suppliers to contact each other speedily, and this is by means of telephone, fax mail, letters, or electronic mails, which is very common now. All right, moving on. So basically, that is an introduction to commerce and the edge to trade. We've said commerce is trade and the edge to trade, and we said there is home trade and there is foreign trade. Under foreign trade, we have import and export. Under home trade, we have wholesale and retail trade, right? And then we moved on to the edge to trade, where we use the mnemonic WABTIC. The letter W means warehousing, the letter A means advertising, the letter B means banking, the letter T means transport, the letter I means insurance, and the letter C, which I had forgotten earlier, means communication. So I want us now to talk a little bit about production. So what is this production? Now, production is simply the provision of goods and services in order to satisfy human needs and wants. So there are three branches to production, and these branches we have industry, commerce, and direct services, right? So these are the three branches to production. Industry deals with extraction of natural resources, which are raw materials, and transforming them into semi-finished or finished goods. Now, commerce deals with the distribution of both raw materials and finished goods, right? From the source to the place of extraction or manufacturing to the place of demand or scarcity, right? And then direct services, these plays an indirect role in production, whose services are essential in enhancing production. So this includes teachers, doctors, architects, the police, the lawyers, or any other services rendered by a service worker. And three, so all these, when you graduate and you become a doctor, it means that becomes your services that you'll be offering are quite indirect, so it will become a direct service, right? So all these are the branches to production, where we said we have commerce, we also have uh, direct services, and then there is also the other one, which was industry. So moving on to the methods of production. So under the methods of production, this helps to satisfy human needs and wants, which can either be achieved by direct or indirect production. So there are two main types or the methods of production. So we have direct production and indirect production. Under direct production, it is the production of goods for one own use. So that is done at a subsistence level, right? We know of best examples where we have subsistence farmers. These farmers grow crops for their own use. Apart from that, there is no need for exchange with others, and it only satisfies one's own needs and wants. So these needs are things you cannot live without. These wants are things that you can even live without. All right, moving on to, quite the opposite to direct production, we have indirect production. This is the production of goods or services for the benefit of others, and this one involves trading what has been produced, right? When we talk about commercial farmers, these are examples which can fall under indirect production. So this helps one to obtain what he or she can't produce, right? It depends upon trade, and it makes people to specialize in one field so as to sell their value. Then we can now move on to the factors of production. I know I'm cruising, so I'll try to be a bit slow, but basically, if you have any questions, you can simply drop them in the comment section. So let's move on to the factors of production, right? What are some of the factors that are going to ensure that production is going to happen? One of the factors is land, right? Whenever you talk about land, it simply implies a place or venue where production is done. It includes all kinds of natural resources that are found on the earth and underground. Examples of land, we have copper, we have coal, fish, water, animals, trees, all these things that are found on land, right? So this land, the providers of land are called landlords, and the benefit or reward of land is rent or rates. So that's a very key important. When you are renting your house to someone, of course you are expected to get rent from that person. Another factor of production is labor, where we are putting in human effort in order for production to be made possible. So it is divided into manual, physical, where we have unskilled, or professional, mental, where we have skilled. So we have unskilled, and we also have skilled laborers, right? And these unskilled laborers, they get paid using a wage. These skilled laborers are paid using salaries, right? All right, so we have salary or wage. We said salary is for a skilled labor, a wage is for an unskilled labor. Moving on to another factor of production, that is capital. So whenever we talk about capital, these are the resources that man uses to produce goods and services. This could be the money that you use for building, machinery, raw materials, and etc. So the providers of capital are called capitalists, and the reward of capital is interest, all right, or interest. Then we move on to enterprise, which is the ability to organize other factors of